right, Dean, what's happening? How are you doing?
What's going on, Scott? How's it
So
going, everybody? I'm doing great. How about yourself?
fantastic. So one of the things I love about you coming on, Dean, because this eliminates you are almost a poster child for eliminating I don't know about investing remotely. I live so far away. Well, so where do you live at, Dean?
I live in Hawaii, and I've got something extra on that. I'm in Nepal right now,
You're in Nepal. Okay.
and I just got number 19 under contract from here, so I'm
Oh,
still doing it remotely.
oh, wow, that is fantastic. So you're in Nepal now. Wow. So
Yeah,
even when you're in Hawaii, I'm like anybody who says, "Oh, they don't have him near me." I'm like, well, listen, talk to this
yeah,
guy. He's pulling
yeah.
it off just fine. And we got people all over.
Temporarily, not here permanently, but could have as long as I want for a holiday now. So that's kind of interesting development in my life.
Fantastic. So, Dean, before we even get into your slow flip journey, give us a little bit of history on yourself and a little background on on yourself before you got with FA.
Sure. Just like Cameron, I was a veteran of the Air Force. Got out of the Air Force, went to Afghanistan as a civilian, moved to Hawaii, was worked in IT. I was an engineer, riding that corporate ladder, master's degree. This is what I was going to do for my life. But I was making good money and I knew I wanted to invest in something and I knew it wanted to be real estate. So I started going down the rabbit hole, looked at Burr method, looked at Section 8 rentals, wholesaling, apartment syndication, everybody and their mama was pitching something out there. And I ended up stumbling upon you in a podcast. I don't even remember the podcast. I said, wow, this ticks a lot of the boxes that I made. So I made a checklist of the strategies that I wanted to do and then the type of mentor I wanted. Um, and so that checked all the boxes. I read the book and I said, okay, holy smokes, this is, not only did the strategy tick all my boxes, but you personally. I mean, I'm not a Lamborghini guy. I'm not a yacht guy. I got three young kids and I'm just trying to spend more time with them. And so, because I was working 60 hours a week at the IT job, no phone in there, completely locked down, no windows in the office, it's just not conducive to happiness. And I lived in Hawaii, so
Right.
like, so anyways, that ticked all the boxes and I just jumped in and I just thought to myself, okay, Scott's the most successful guy I know at doing the thing that I want to do. I'm just going to copy the plan. And so I jumped into Freedom Accelerator and I didn't deviate at all. Zero deviation. And my whole intention here was set myself up on the 5-year plan. So I jumped into the Freedom Accelerator and I was only buying deals from available deals. So from other students in the
In
group
school. So
and
you bought them in
in
school.
school. Yep.
Okay.
So my first 5 deals. And what I did is I specifically sought like Zach Hurley, Kelly Bass, Joey, people that I knew were rock stars. They were crushing it already at slow flips. And so when I purchased from Zach, from Joey, there's no question under the sun that these guys don't know the answers to already. So I'm nervous as heck. I'm buying in St. Louis remotely. I can't sleep before my first deal. Oh my God, I've never been to this place. I've never smelled this house, touched this house. I've never even been to St. Louis. But Zach already did a bunch of these. So I purchased a wholesale deal from him and he held my hand essentially. I mean, throughout the entire thing, he asked all sorts of questions for me. And he is also the one that filled the property for me. Same thing with Kelly. I get into my office. I leave my office. I check my phone. Title company says, property's closed. Okay, great. I go back in, come back out 2 hours later, check my phone, text message from Kelly, property's filled in 2 hours,
Uh,
So, and because I wasn't able to do all the other parts of the business, there's no way I would have been able to slow flip without Freedom Accelerator in the beginning. Um, and then I started making offers the way Joey teaches in Spill the Beans. I just started copying those videos. And there was a week where I got two properties under contract, great slow flips, but I only had money to buy one of them. And so, and I also strictly adhere to buy one, fill one, buy one. And so I posted that instead of backing out of that deal, I posted it in the community and it was sold in 3 hours and I made $5,000. And I was like, oh,
nice.
okay, this is interesting. I'm selling a piece of paper and making money. Like, can I do this again? Can I do this again? And I just started doing that. So I do that and I do slow flips. I do wholesaling and slow flips. And then I also started filling as well. I don't fill as much. It's a lot of work. There's people in the group that are absolute rock stars. So I fill my own properties, but I still post my properties in the group to fill because it might take me 2 weeks, but it takes somebody in the group 2 days.
So are you still working your IT job?
No, I quit March 22nd of last year.
All right. Watch 20 seconds.
Before I had enough slow flips to cover it. I just said, this wholesaling thing is amazing. I did 55 wholesale deals last year.
So if you don't mind me asking, and if you do mind, just tell me, you did 55 wholesale. What kind of revenue did that bring you?
350,000 almost.
All right. Yeah, you can quit the IT job. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That is fantastic. Congratulations. So now, aside from the wholesaling, how many slow flips do you have now?
18 with 19 under contract right now.
And where is your future vision? What does your future look like?
I so I had a killer month last year. That was $85,000 I made, right? That was the best month I had. And so that redefined my vision. I thought, you know what, if I could bring in $85,000 consistently every month, that's $1 million a year. I think that's a great vision. So I actually changed it. So $85,000 a month is what I'm looking for
And then is that going to be through slow flips or is
through
that
slow flips. Yep.
yeah,
Wholesaling is my job. Slow flips are
slow
my
flips are
401k that pays me today.
exactly. That's what I'm always trying to tell people. I say, yeah, we do that for money now. Slow flips are for your future. So did you define on how many slow flips you need to get to that $1 million a year?
Well, that's a little hard because if I stick to the $500, average, um, we could
You
do the
know,
math easy on that. But mine are
160.
all over the place. I have some super cheap properties that are filled at I have an $8,000 property, that's filled at like 595 a month. So that kind of skews it. Then I've got some expensive ones that are $1,000 a month. So I don't know the exact number that it's going to mean as
But
far
do
as
the
slow
math on
flips.
that $8,000. That's almost 100% return annually.
Yeah,
That's hard to
it's
beat.
insane.
Wow, that is
The guy
crazy.
pulled up in a trailer, ran that because the copper was stripped. Honestly, you wouldn't have suggested I buy it, but it was $8,000, and I thought I could sit with that vacancy. I paid my own cash for it, and it did take like 3 months to fill. The guy pulled up in a trailer, ran the house on a generator while he rehabbed it. It was in a really good neighborhood, that's why I bought it. And he meant to rent it out. Instead, he moved in there with his family and is now living in there with his family.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, I just sold closed on the sale of one the other day that the same thing. The guy lived in it while he renovated it and then turned around and sold it. And it's such an opportunity for the buyers as well. Because we
Yep.
sell, yes, we love to sell and we make money, but our buyers are crushing it as well. When they do right and they renovate them and make it their own, they're doing fantastic on it. So
Yeah.
what are you doing in Nepal?
Well, because we had some health problems in the family recently. And then I always was tied down to 3 weeks PTO with my engineering job. And so now, like, we went to Japan earlier in the year, we were in India, and now we're in Nepal. And Nepal is where my wife's originally from. So, as she's getting through the recovery and everything like that, we've got family and everything out here. So it's like, hey, let's go to Nepal. How long do you want to go? As long as you want to stay
You
till you
are
get tired.
you are going to be the poster child for freedom. That's exactly it. You
This
are
is why I did this. This is the
You
reason
are
why I
the
did this.
definition. What you're saying is the
Yeah.
definition of freedom. That is fantastic. Wow, that's good stuff. So I don't want to keep you all day, but let me ask you a question. So the deals you're getting now, how are you sourcing them? Where are you finding them?
Yeah, same thing. Joey spills the beans. I love that I've spent $0 on marketing so far. I use Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I copy exactly what Joey showed. I copy. My KPIs last year, I said I want to make 50 contacts a day. So wholesaling was a serious job for me. Um, and I just hit the phones. And so since I've been taking this little bit of break dealing with personal issues, those same wholesalers that I've made contacts with, that I've wholesaled a lot of their deals that they're bringing deals to, they need money for EMDs all the time. And so I've started doing a lot of transactional lending to these same wholesalers. And then when they get deals, they throw me their deals. And so the deal that I have under contract right now is a wholesaler that I have a EMD contract, transactional lending contract with them. And he just threw me this deal and he said, hey, give me $2,000. And I could wholesale that right now for 10 grand. I know that I can make 10 grand, but I'm going to buy it because it's such a smoking hot deal.
That is fantastic. What a
Yep.
great story, man. I didn't. This was actually more enjoyable for me. I haven't spoken to you in a minute, and so I didn't get to know any of this. I didn't know about your traveling and everything you're doing. So this has been actually really enjoyable to hear what you have going on. I
And
think
if I may say, I didn't know how to spell ARV before I joined up with Freedom Accelerator. Okay. Zero real estate experience.
that is fantastic. I absolutely love it. All right, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I know you're far away. What is your time zone? What time is it where you are?
Oh, it's 10:30 at night, but I'm still I still jump on. My family goes to sleep. And so I'm over here. It's like, oh, let's get on school. I'm on school every single day. Oh, let's get on Zillow. Let's see what deals. I've got my number. I can still make calls. So probably later today I'll be making some calls like I normally do.
Wow. That is fantastic. So does anybody have any questions for Dean? You guys got to have some questions. This is an interesting story. I was actually thinking when you were saying, I said, he's doing it all the way from Hawaii and you're doing it all over the world. That is crazy. So AJ, if you want to read, if we have any questions, and we'll try and get them answered. Thank you for coming on, Dean. That was very enlightening to hear. Very informative.
Thank you.
Yep. Let me see if anyone has any questions posted in the chat. But Dean, so you joined us in FA and you're actually helping out in the calls that we do, right? For FA.
That's right. Yeah. It's easy to talk about Freedom Accelerator when my wife and I actually call it our slow flip companion. We don't call it Freedom Accelerator. We call it our slow flip companion because I couldn't do this business without it. I depend on it.
That is fantastic. So for those of you who don't know, Dean is now one of the Freedom Accelerator advisors as well. So when you book a call, there's a good chance you're going to be speaking with Dean. And news to me, he may be in Nepal when he's talking to you. That is absolutely fantastic. So that's good stuff. Does anybody have any questions for Dean before we let him go?
Yeah, we have a couple. So Justin asks, Dean, do you work with the national lender or have you ended up building out a private money lender group as well?
It's a good question. So I haven't used the national lender yet. I started with my own cash initially, for the same reason that I've seen a lot of people bring up was I wanted to build a little resume, a little portfolio to start pitching this to private money lenders. I guess I should back up. I was going to buy another house in Honolulu, but the median price of a single family home is $1 million. So I was saving up the down payment for that. So I used that money actually as my seed money for slow flips. Then I got my first private money lender. Then I started wholesaling. And so of my 18 right now, 11 are free and clear. And the other 7 are with 6 different private money lenders. And so what I did is I'll tell you one deal. I purchased that $15,000. I had it filled at $750 a month. My daughter got invited to a birthday party. She's 6 years old. I'm talking to the other dads like slow flips using the exact same training from Freedom Accelerator, talking about oh my God, that's great. Oh, but I don't have time. Well, there's another way you can make money, 12% backed by real estate, parroting Scott. And I sent him over the credibility kit from FA, which is just a PowerPoint presentation. 2 days later, he says, I'll be your private money lender. Well, I had him refinance that $15,000 property at 30 grand. I pulled that money out, a little bit of my own cash. I picked up 2 more properties. So I'm cash flowing $1,850 on 3 properties, and I owe him $667.33 a month. So that's what I've been doing. I've been refinancing properties as I get private money lenders.
Wow, fantastic.
I think we have one more question from Neil. He says,
I like that last question right there. How did you overcome your fear of doing everything remotely?
Go ahead.
Because of Freedom Accelerator. When I joined, I was looking at Cleveland initially. Then I saw where the group was active, and I saw St. Louis on the list. And I'm going through the training, and Scott's teaching us how to build out our systems, boots on the ground attorneys. And I look, and all that stuff's already built. I don't have to do any of that. And so my intention was, I'm going to set up bare minimum to start buying these things. And I went to St. Louis. I used their boots on the ground. I used their title companies, their attorneys, and then buying from other successful slow flippers is how you're still going to feel that fear. I still felt the fear, but it really helped a lot knowing, hey, Joey has 200 of these. He puts on his pants the same way as me. I could do it, like we can do this. And so I just copying. I mean, I'm a parrot. You probably heard me say several times today already, things that you've read in Scott's book. I'm just copying the people that have done this successfully. That's all I'm doing.
Awesome. I think that's enough time for the questions.
Wait, you started, Neil had a question. You started to read it and then you cut off.
Yeah, Neil, let me just read. I think he said, do you have boots on the ground walk through each property before purchase?
Yes, I do. Like if I'm buying from somebody in the group, typically they've walked it like 24 hours before I just said I'll buy it. And then I just make sure I always get my final walkthrough to make sure it matches that initial walkthrough. If it's just me, I always do 2 walkthroughs, my initial walkthrough and then one right before closing.
And that is the best advice you could give anybody, Dean. People skip that step. And most of the time it's a non-issue, but there has been times from the time they did the walkthrough to the time of closing where it completely changed. And if you don't inspect it before you close, once you send that money, it's gone. you have to inspect it. So I love that you just said that to remind everybody you have to do a day, a day of closing inspection.
Had a squatter in a house one time, and the guy that came to clean it, it was $1,000 to clean it up. A squatter came in, urinated on the floor, left all sort of paraphernalia, went to go secure it. After he was done cleaning, it was going to be $1,000. Say, you did a good job. How good are you? Oh, I did a good job. Did you do a good job, enough job to live there? He goes, oh yeah, I did. I said, well, how would you like a house for $1,000? And he's still in that house today. So
wow, that's fantastic. That's one way to sell a house. All right.
Cool.
We have any further questions for Dean?
We have a ton more, but we can wait till the VIP.
Oh, okay. We'll do it during the
Take
VIP.
care of
Thank
it.
you very much, Dean. It was great seeing
Thank you.
you. Love hearing your story, and I appreciate you coming on. Have a fantastic day.